welcome. Okay. Again, the committee will now resume, and we are pleased to welcome the acting secretary of the Ministry of Public Service to this inquiry hearing into the 2026 Appropriation Bill 2025. Acting Secretary, thank you for coming forward with your team to be part of this inquiry. I know that you have been part of this inquiry in the past, and you would know exactly the nature of this whole proceedings. In our inquiry into this, the budget estimate, what we will do is basically just to make our assessment first and present our assessment on the generally, you know, the important feature of the budget that you have submitted. You have noted that you have got one of the biggest increase, and that's a very commendable thing, that you have been able to successfully present your bid to the Ministry of Finance and the budget team to have this increase. That's a good sizable increase of some 60%. Possibly for reasons that, you know, we have just recently passed the Public Service Act, and therefore the bulk of the work that needs to be done ought to be resourced. And so you will need a little bit of investment in some of these areas to be able to ensure that we are placed in a comfortable position to get some of, you know, the legislation, you know, to be up and running, applied in next year. But it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time. So that's a commendable thing. We've noticed also that the recurrent development mix have shown some good improvement. For next year's estimation, and assessing it against the prescribed guideline that has been presented by the budget team in the fiscal strategy document, of a 80% mix of recurrent and 20% on development. So it's a 80-20 ratio. I think you have somehow, you know, with the kind of approval that has been given to you, you have comfortably landed yourself to somewhere around, you know, 70, 29 or 30%, which is quite good. 70% on recurrent of the total that has been allocated to you. So it's 70% on the recurrent and 30% on development. So that's a quite another important starting point for you as well too, because like as you will know, the lesser the investment on demand on recurrent and more on development means that, you know, you are improving on efficiency. Yeah, you are improving more on the efficiency on the recurrent machinery in driving other development investment. I'm sure that next year you will require a lot of investment in the development front. to really get the public service, new Public Service Act up and going. So this year, we would really wanted to encourage all agencies, to be more robust in the way that, they think around these issues and the challenges that we are facing, and get everybody, to think about, the new changes that is going to happen into the future, let alone the fact that, we are facing a new dynamics in our economic situation. The all platform or sectors that you may rely on for driving the economy is now going down, so we have to pitch the other sectors. And the strategy itself have outlined those: mining, agriculture, fisheries, tourism. So you are there to support the human resourcing of the sectors like that. And at the same time to think around, certain investment that you may need to be able to improve on the efficiency of these institutions, around the organizations themselves that they are working on. But I think one thing that is also important is for you to really, and your agency will have to do a lot of work on this, and that is on financial reporting. I really wanted to tag that priority, law public service. We need to invest a lot here. Site law, financial reporting. And I'll draw your attention to visit the website below IMF, the International Monetary Fund. And I, throughout this, as we begin our proceedings audition, I get the chance to, remind him now a lot of our agencies, to find time and then consider now the report below IMF on the fiscal data governance in Solomon Islands, which is one of the worrying situation. It's a worrying situation for UMI. When you have organizations like World Bank picking up the right issues and making them as a significant publications, in their research work, there is a real concern for UMI. It should trigger, some, serious thinking from our own self. Because we all know that fiscal management has always been a major issue, and we have not paid attention to go deeper and find out where the problem is. So somehow in this fiscal strategy we get to put a blame on other things, like we seems to be blaming civil unrest, COVID for our downfall, when in fact you may collapse one finish before something come. We've already collapsed. And I really wanted to run this kind of a message here, you, because you will always be at that level, to talk to our other coordinating ministries and the central team, to discuss, what is right in the center that has allowed government system for collapse here. Fiscal reporting, the lack of discipline that has been displayed by a lot of our accounts officers, financial officers that have been assigned to other ministries with very little improvements in work along or even side law financial reporting too. So country cannot continue to go down that pathway. I want to run this message through to you here because you are the managers of all these human resources that get deployed to all these ministries. SIGAS, I think this time no longer exists now. I used to be head of SIGAS before, as Undersecretary Budget and Operation. And we used to put that requirement to them. But at that time, we were faced with a lot of challenge too. With new changes in management approach and the overall, management thinking at the upper level on the public sector. So a lot of new thinking start to come out too, where we have to open up, the whole management along the public sector, to allow managers, to manage MOSM, this agile management approach here, a more flexible management approach thinking, yeah. So why I'm raising some of these issues is that because a lot of these things, we need to invest in MOSM, yeah? And we are talking about, institutions like IPAM for him has come out strong. You'll be building a stronger capacity side of financial reporting, financial management. And then how get some of these, things, to be reflected in a better financial reports, audit can be done. The whole process of budget making can be more robust, and then more realistic too. Yeah. So I hope that next year, we will do something a lot more better. But you've got to drive this kind of capacity building, training, and all of that. It requires investment. And then finance in itself, who are the operational guys, sometimes because they are just so busy with the operational issues, they tend to forget that there need to be investment to really upgrade him now. The status below our own in-service employees, the human resource within to be able to make improvement and deliver what are important things like this, yeah. So I think me like for encouraging you to visit the IMF website, or maybe you can just on your way back you can get from our offices here a hard copy print, because I've actually given it to them and they printed out the copies to have a read in it, and then I hope that by me it will be a little bit mind intriguing kind of reading, but I hope that Baba may make some changes so that's on that. But just coming back to the budget itself no more, I hope that by next year will be a good year for the public service. You have a good results there, and let's see whether or not you guys are going to set the right pace for the implementation of the new public service act here. So I'll probably leave it there, and then maybe time you respond, Baba you shall respond to him, but I'll give it to other members or to ask him question, or maybe I ask him to respond a little bit more. Okay, please. I think Secretary, you want to respond to what you're thinking on.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Chairman of the Public Accounts Committee and members of the PAC. Thank you very much for the opportunity given to us to be able to present our proposal for budget proposal for next year before you. In terms of the priority areas, the ministry has four key priorities. The first is legislative reforms, where part will HEMNA, this Public Service Act, passed on the 24th of October, and along with that, developing two other regulations and orders for making possible the implementation of the Act. So priority number one for next year would be the socialization of the Act, make sure what the public servants in the provinces and in Honiara understanding the provisions of the Act, and then also understanding the Requirement Law Act, where all public servants are to adhere to. That's the first priority in terms of legislative reform. And the second one, terms and conditions. So we have a mandate to improve the terms and conditions of public servants. This one is quite challenging because we have to balance it out with to do it fiscally responsible for this and make sure balance out with the affordability, ability below government to afford these reforms, especially for improving terms and conditions. And then a third priority for us is to implement the policies mandated to us by the government for like performance management, discipline, or the normal administrative policies for administering another public service. So that's a third priority. And the fourth one is to improve we were mandated by the government to integrate digital technologies into the public service for make sure services are delivered efficiently. So hemna 4 key priorities belum ministry. So in terms of the issue raised by the chair, Honorable Side Law support him na, especially with the reporting. Me fellow work with them, Office of the Auditor General, with them, Auditor of Finance, especially with the Accountant General. Just a few weeks back, I think last week, we had a meeting with the Accountant General. Auditor come for me fellow meet for discussing how na by me fellow help for support him na the accounts cadre inside the country, especially to ensure that Auditor understand him na requirement logata for reporting, especially financial reporting, and how for work and budget. And so me fellow meet and me fellow like integrate him na program logata training program into the IPAM. And we follow work law. I think this is inside law recommendation law PAC report here, recommendation 49. So we are working together with the OAG and the Accountant General Law, Ministry of Finance. So the plan is to integrate their training for them become part of IPAM. So that ought to go through training and then take them now the certification for it. So I guess I would say that recommendation 49 will PAC, sure. We are working on that. So hopefully by next year, I should once establishing good that fellow program, then become part law IPAM.
That's good. Thank you. Any other question, Louis? Yes, no need to, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. During the bills committee time, we may go through the public service bill, and also time we debated law. Two very important things now may come out. One follow is people are excited because the top levels by our own contractor. It was said here and said in the floor too, on the floor. That is one. And then me seems not to find them. Maybe Los Sampala area he come Sampala maybe not budgeted for here. That leads me to the very place where he sit down him. Restructuring blow parliament here. After he place him over also me no find him that fella restructuring exercise him reflected low budget. I might be wrong. No good him look different place now him stop, but me no sabi no more. But me seems for no notice him. But if that is an intention for leave him out, that is in the bad spirit of the act here. after imi talk high to Maslo Actia, the first group for imi really pull them down integrity blow Actia now. The same ministry when sponsor public service. That is how me read him, but you could have your own explanation to it. So, but me no find him anywhere. But there could be remedies where you will get him in place to try to address him that will shortfall or site or something else. That's my.
Thank you.
My.
Can you respond to that?
Thank you, Chair. So, so recommendation 48, him talk about him now for assisting Parliament for make sure we have human resource below Parliament and capacitated. So there was a review. The workforce management look here and work with them Parliament for create him na position and move him up to a level where him should be. So that part there has been done. I think the issue, not the budget issue, and him actually fall on the institution law here to ensure that they bid for those budget. Of course, there are challenges with the budget now, but I'm actually up to Parliament now for making bid submission for their positions.
Maybe House Committee. I think there was something that me cite him a little bit that him come through House Committee. Him submitted here. Him submitted. But maybe there's an oversight somewhere that him just not captured now. But if it is not captured now, I mean that is the end. Is there a way forward? The next question, no way. Not only the restructuring lawyer, no concentrating lawyer, but other contracts here too. Also, no, yeah?
For the head of,
yeah.
For the head of a department, yeah?
12 administrators upwards.
Yeah, so in terms of maybe by DS colleague here, by, so in terms of, but generally in terms of budget, I'm always responsibility for every ministry making their bids submission. Yeah.
Okay.
The challenge by go then by auto deciding, and in some of the cases because of the budget situation, they also cut him out. But in the first place, it's ministry got him responsibility to make the bid submission. Thank you.
Thank you for raising that. Actually, we were challenged by demand Lucinta during that time. It's 129 million, where government and Sinta agreed to it. So what happened was we surrender every contract here, knowing very well that Mifal Lagarem receives savings law vacancies. So after Mifal address him that 129 million, Okata education give him 22 million more. That is for early childhood and auto-vocational teachers. So we have to surrender them now at vacancies below public service in order for Mifal address him now, this is 22 million. Yeah. So our plan was to delay no more contract, Kasim June, by that time savings should be available. 10 ministries shall be implemented. The timing of the thing, EMNA issued the time because it's an issue below Sinta. So the first thing we surrender now, all of the contracts for addressing now the 122 million. And along that line, 22 million below teachers for vocational, have come to. So we have to forego two vacancies where we were thinking that this one should be the backup for the contracting. So that's what happened, Chair.
Okay. So what will happen, if 6 months down the track that you may delay him, yeah? Delay him. Are you going to go back retrospectively, to pay them, or from that?
The contracts signed effective date of signing.
Okay. So they, for most of them, haven't been signed yet?
Not yet. It's in the budget for for next year, but because of the commitment the government with them Sinta, we have to delay it.
Understood.
So we can only say that there is a delayed implementation arrangement on this strategically to be able to build up
savings
capacity to meet it. Okay. What about the scheme of service below parliamentary scheme?
The restructuring we
Problem with it.
the documents and the way we already approved. The scheme of service, I'm not aware of anything.
Really?
Yeah. Thank you, Chair.
Okay.
Chairman,
Yes, please.
this local development budget for you, you've got 10 million for CPU. Yes, CPU office. You like for working new building Lohem or is it a rehabilitation allocation?
The CPU, yeah? Is it in the recurrent?
Development budget.
Development budget.
PS, any comments on that?
For new building.
And for new building.
New building. CPU.
Yeah.
Okay. Where will it be located?
Down
Tandai, I think.
Tandai area, yeah.
Is it an office building or accommodation? Or?
Office building.
Office building.
How far lo Tandai ne?
Somewhere around within
Maramaro, no, where is the refilling station?
refilling station, within the vicinity of the refilling
Beside the refilling
station.
station.
Okay.
Within this area now.
Why can't they come together when them CPU create union no more? Or they want to have their own building?
I don't know what now.
Oh, yeah.
Go on with them about that.
Okay. So it's a new building. Yeah. Okay.
Me a little bit worried. If she nakam by what name is it? If she takam, look like a new building. If other government associations here. This one arrangement specifically for CPU no more. I mean, open one no more for anyone to come.
Thank you, Chair. This one is specifically for CPU. Yeah.
Because CPU, it's kind of a union under the Public Service Commission, isn't it?
Yeah.
So for the Teaching Service Commission will be seen that.
Nations public service.
Huh?
Nations public service.
Necessary public service.
Affiliated.
Yeah. But I think we have an issue with necessary and police in the past.
Yeah.
Me remember when I was running the credit union and speaker and union that they wanted to go get out of the CPU. Yeah? We decided to hold them back, but I would decide now for push out. So it's a very sad situation, but that's their choice. Yeah. So I don't think they will end up as a union more. They will become a OSM defined in the Public Service Act. Yeah. What na? Yeah? Association. Association of employees. Yeah. The other issue where Squaraham regime Lomina, have you taken stock of the total rental whole government? Or is that something that is of great interest to you? Because it seems rental or recurrent this time, yeah, how much here? It's claim go up for 200 over million, I think. Some 200 over million rental. So when we raise it with and try to pick him thinking below PS or lunch, what's his thinking on it? He seems to think that, oh, well, it's a good thing because, we are moving resources now to some of our own national, entrepreneurs, yeah, who are able to build precincts like that for government rental, yeah. But in the past, some of our foreign naturalized entrepreneurs now that have the benefit of it. Yeah? But suppose you think around long 200 million lo 1 year, yeah, money pity mo wala big building, yeah. Yeah ba? 200 million lo 1 year. At least in the past, they've made the decision to invest in building your office. Office blow you wala yeah. Me wala building. I mean, blonga money. Yeah, no money from outside. Like that, because bara heartbeat belongo government institution. No public service here. That's why we made that decision at that time. You may build him now. So if such a strong political will decision can reflect him now, what you have there. What more, that's probably about 30 or so plus million now. Building blue valley, but 200 over million lo 1 year, yeah, man. By how many story now? Building them, by me building yeah, man. And could be a good savings, low rental going forward into the future. Just thinking, But not eating blue valley. Has this been in some of your management thinking, public service or how?
Sorry, Chair, just to confirm, you are asking about the rental of offices or rental
Offices.
as in, rental in terms of office. So what me well understanding, the current system is its ministry by look for, if they have made a decision to build an office space, then by what using the normal budget provisions here for making a bid for establishing their office for building office lot. I'm not currently how you mean. So every ministry by garam that full responsibility, and also you mean looking a number of ministries are renting private properties for offices.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I know that we have given the liberty to all our ministries to think around and make a choice around whether or not to relocate out of government buildings, finding a better space somewhere, and so forth. But you, public service here, I must say, not only human resources, you manage him, but you should also help too, law, what the fiscal assets, law government, because the Public Service Act, and talk about even having responsibility over our assets of government. So whatever that we turn into government assets, we captured under the Public Service Act here. So I'm just encouraging you to rethink him no more. I mean, think around him about something here. Emotion. Go to those relevant provisions and say, what assets are now? And fall under this particular provision. What are we going to do about it? I mean, when you are exposed to, a rental bill or the renting no more or the individual offices here, to the tune of almost about what? More than 200 million here. I mean, just you punch through law every 1 year. So, okay. But we also know that there are very rich governments, but other running on buildings here. I mean, you go to Canberra, for instance, I mean, every government buildings there belongs to the government. They don't rent any place. Go to Fiji, for instance, they have permanent assets for, and buildings belong to government too, So maybe it's something that we should be thinking about going forward in the future. But this is the time to start preparing for the future. So we put the right thinking that using what now common phrases, everyone like fit for purpose, into the future. So him no more. Little bit small comment, because others mentioned that. So please.
Thank you, Chair. Good for idea, but I need him for ministries. I work with MMID, where I'm responsible for infrastructure. Start planning and then we feel Ministry Public Service too, for
Yes.
us to work together.
Sure. Thank you. Any other issues?
No, my
Yes.
local saying that currently the ministries are duplicating what is supposed to be MID. I mean, how I see it. So I think it's good for you take the lead in collaborating with other ministries about this whole idea, so that going forward we save some good money for the beginning in the future in terms of development. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Very good point, yeah. So it's basically, you mean, just to alert you, emotion. And you cannot throw him go some law MID and just some legislation law MID. Him no put him now responsibility over asset law government. Public Service Act now. In fact, the Public Service can actually direct ministries and say, you go to that ministry over there, or you, this ministry, you go occupy a building or something, you occupy a building or something. So that's what happened before under the, but you know, Public Service Act now at that time, general order no more, emotion. Because you know the general order at that time, even laws enacted by Parliament, because the Constitution itself now commission, Public Service Commission for him, produce him now or enact him now, general order. So when it was tested, general order got him the same power no more was in act of Parliament. That's why before we did not operate law, something we will operate law general order no more. Enacted by and regulated by Public Service Commission. So when the commission said, this department, you go along with that building law there, you go along that building, that was it. Well, this is, I can only say to Ivala Public Service. Yes, please. You want to say something? Yeah.
Not a question, just to add on. Hearing what the chairman tell him about the power for allocating maybe offices or send of that one to other ministries, you must make sure that before any ministry go on a building, you will not must say, or no ma, wait first time, or something or something. Look like this time, yeah. O the move, you will not say that ministry move go to their finish, yeah. Because me come as, when I want to agriculture, what to say, out the law, Robe, me go Robe, no in agriculture law. So, I mean, but you will not tell me, but lo Robe. So, me go lo, this la Catholic
Sanctuary.
Yeah. No in one lo there.
Next to St. John.
Yeah. So, but you will also make sure that, including the rental too, you will look good law or something. Also support them no more. Yeah.
Thank you, Chair. Noted.
Well, I think we have done so well. PAs continue to convey our message to the PAs when you return. I know next year it's going to be a very challenging year, but I think let's put our focus to do some good investment in ensuring that the Public Service Act by me be able to have it implemented law next year. But for now, thank you for appearing before the committee and the useful discussion that we've been having. Great. And enjoy this evening. Thank you.